Hi everyone. So today I am covering the story of Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. And the title of this would be When Life Tells You We're Not Enough. So the situation with Jacob, Rachel, and Leah is a complicated one. Jacob meets Rachel first, the younger sister, and he falls in love with her instantly. Later, as time goes on, Rachel and Leah's dad, Laban, agrees to let Jacob marry Rachel, but he ends up deceiving him the night of the wedding and gives him Leah instead of Rachel, which is the older sister. And through the story, you see Rachel and Leah going back and forth in bitterness and jealousy, trying to gain the attention of Jacob. So I'm going to read part of the passage for this. Laban brought together all the people of the place and gave a feast. But when evening came, he took his daughter Leah and gave her to Jacob, and Jacob lay with her. And Laban gave his servant girl Zilpah to his daughter as her maidservant. When morning came, there was Leah. So Jacob said to Laban, "What is this that you have done to me? I served you for Rachel, didn't I? Why have you deceived me?" So the importance of this is, in the backstory of Jacob, he's known to kind of deceive people in his way of getting things he wants. He deceived his brother to get his birthright over a bowl of stew, and then he deceived his brother to get his blessing from his father. And that's what got him to even meet Rachel and Leah to begin with. But so Jacob gets deceived just like he deceived people in this. And then further, as it goes on, Laban replied, "It is not our custom here to give the younger daughter in marriage before the older one. Finish this daughter's bridal week, then we will give you the younger one also, in return for another 7 years of work." And Jacob did so. He finished the week with Leah, and then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Laban gave his servant girl Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her maidservant. Jacob lay with Rachel also, and he loved Rachel more than Leah. And he worked for Laban another 7 years. When the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So there's a lot happening in this story. But the main topic I'm going to cover is going to be Leah, the older sister. So, before I get to Leah, I'll just give a little backstory again about Rachel and Leah. So Rachel meets Jacob first. She's the younger of the two sisters, and she's known in the Bible as being beautiful. As Jacob loves her more, the issue with her story is that she is barren for quite some time. And then Leah, the older sibling, in the Bible, it states that she has weak eyes, and she is known for not being loved by Jacob, but she, throughout the story, continuously tries to gain his honor and respect. So to me, Leah lived her life with a lot of sadness, and in our world today, that's something that we can relate to. You know, ever since COVID, honestly, sadness has been at the forefront for a lot of us. And there's a lot of times throughout life that we get in these situations like Leah, where we end up feeling second best to someone, and we feel like we're not enough in who we are. When you normally hear the story about Rachel and Leah, you tend to side with Rachel, and it's easier to kind of get irritated with Leah in a way, because Jacob always made it known that he loved Rachel more. He never, at least from our knowledge, he never made it seem like anything other than that. So Leah, you can see her being bitter a lot. But after further reading and research and praying on this, I see Leah a little bit differently. I see her as someone that was let down. And I think this is something a lot of women can relate to, even men, honestly, can relate to, being let down by authoritative figures. You know, she was given to Jacob by her father in deceit. And she was given to a man that was in love with someone else. So her father, instead of protecting her and guiding her and trying to find the right leader for her future family, he did what was best for himself and made his daughter go along with it. At least that's my take on it now. And not only did she get handed over to a man that didn't love her, the next authoritative figure, which would be Jacob, that was head for her family, was all about her younger sister. And the only time I have witnessed through this this story, that Jacob really shows her love and respect is when Leah passes later on, and he ends up laying her to rest with his family. So it's hard when people that are meant to love us and protect us fail us. It's hard to see human sides to us. So this story to me just shows how human people really are, and whether you intentionally mean to hurt someone or not, it can happen when you only allow your desires to come to the forefront. It's okay to have desires. It's okay to go after desires, but not at the extent of like Leah's story, where she was put in harm's way emotionally while Jacob took care of her and made sure she was fed and had things for her children, things like that. Emotionally, she was not taken care of like a wife is supposed to. A husband is supposed to love his wife like Christ loves the church. And you don't really see Jacob loving Leah in that manner fully. One of the common themes is seeing Leah desire her husband. And part of that is seeing Genesis being lived out in the beginning of Genesis. In Genesis 3:16, God tells Eve that your desire is going to be for your husband. And we see that with Leah in this situation. She's like Eve, where her desire is for her husband. And that's kind of what pushes her in life, even to have children. I know that it's easy to get to a place when you love someone or you care for someone deeply and you want those feelings reciprocated. It's easy to tolerate certain things in hopes of getting that love. As you can see in Leah's story, she didn't get the love from her father, and she's not getting the love from Jacob. The important message in this, though, is that God seen her through this when she was unloved, and he sent her children. She had 6 sons, and she had a daughter named Dinah. And through these children, God showed her his love and care for her. One question in this that kind of stuck with me too was, how can you handle day in, day out knowing that the person you're married to isn't loving you in the way that you need him to, or her, that you need her to? Emotionally being second best to someone, especially her little sister for that fact. I could just imagine the turmoil that Leah had to face day in and day out. That has to be extremely hard to get through alone, because through this story I didn't see anything. Unless I'm wrong, please correct me and let me know. But I didn't see anything where it looked like Leah had someone that she can lean on emotionally. And as women, we need that. So my heart just breaks for Leah, and I honestly can relate to the depths of loneliness that she felt. My husband's in the service. He's been deployed for a big chunk of our relationship. I had to raise children alone. And with my own self-esteem issues and my own issues, and us getting married young, we had issues in our relationship. And it's been trying, and I allowed it to dictate how I see myself. Instead of just dealing with the situations at hand, I allowed the situations to deal with me. So how can you move forward knowing that your situation isn't going to change in the way that you think it should? The best way to do that is to go to God. God's going to give you what you need every day. Day in and day out, he's going to give you what you need, the strength that you need to get through that day. And we see an example of that, like I said, with Leah having Judah. she trusted in God in that moment. And when you trust in God, possibilities are endless on what can happen with your life and the healing that can come with just that one attempt in trusting Him. Another point that kind of stuck with me in this was I kind of got a lesson in Quest for Happiness. At this time, my children are getting older, and my husband has his career, and I'm at the brink of hopefully starting one eventually in the next couple years. And thinking of myself has kind of been new for me. And it's one thing I need to remind myself is, in the pursuit of my happiness, not to hurt others in that pursuit. Because while my happiness is important, it's not important anymore if someone else is getting hurt in the process. In Jacob's pursuit of his own desires and happiness for Rachel, he was hurting Leah in the process and was hurting her with long-term hurt. It's hurt that she most likely carried to the day she passed. And that's something that God can help you overcome. At the end of the day, all we want is love. We all want to know that we can wake up and be enough. We all want to wake up and have purpose in life. And with God, you can have that.